Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please stand and raise your right hands to be sworn? You and each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that in the cause file of the state of Texas versus Desmond Jones, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence. Thank you very much. Please be court is calling to trial cause F1900479. Trial the state of Texas versus Desmond Jones. What says the state?
The state is right.
What says the defense?
Ready.
Please present the indictment.
After swear.
You may.
Indictment in cause number F1900479 in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Dallas County, state of Texas, duly organized the July term AD 2019 of the 283rd Judicial District after call the defendant and the first day of July 2000 intent to establish the profits of a combination unlawfully commit the following offense or offenses. Murder in that defendant by shooting Shavon Randle with a firearm, a deadly weapon. And murder in that the defendant did then and there with intent to cause serious bodily injury to Shavon Randle, commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that caused the death of Shavon Randle, an individual, by shooting Shavon Randle kidnapping. In that the defendant did intentionally and knowingly abduct Shavon Randle. In that defendant restrained Shavon Randle by confining Shavon Randle and by moving Shavon Randle from one place to another, and by secreting and holding Shavon Randle in a place where Shavon Randle was not likely to be found, and we use and exhibit a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the commission of the offense against
Hey y'all, I see that it's saying it don't have sound. Give me a second. Hey y'all. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Maybe it don't want y'all to see it. Pam, DDP, Louisiana Lady, Blended, and Auntie Fee was in this baby early. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it together. Let me get it. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Hold up. For some reason, YouTube is just winding. Let's just shut it the fuck down. By the way, this Louisiana. Okay, my bad, Louisiana succulent. Look, I'm like Louisiana lady. Okay, all right. We done had a flood of new people come through, so I ain't know. That's that's my nigga. Already my nigga. Been my nigga. Been my nigga. YouTube is twirling. I have no clue. Being LX, come on up through. It's probably why my motherfucking internet fucking up. They probably say, bitch, we sick of you. I ain't had no goddamn internet problems all day. Well, I ain't been on here anyway. I might have to do it. Me and husband sitting here playing us some 2000. I ain't think you knew. Fuck conspiracies. Oh, okay. Man, Miss Lowdown is oh my God. Sacrifice his granddaughter for Hollywood. Oh God. Well, we don't know what the fuck these weird ass people be doing. Let's just say that. Okay. We really don't. We really don't know what the fuck Hollywood be doing. Um, Let me put this up because I am streaming content from somewhere else. The fair use disclaimer is in the description box of this video. And I'll start back over. We are covering day one of Desmond Jones's trial. Now, Desmond Jones, nobody actually has been charged for the murder of Shavon or Mike T. They are all charged with um, gang activity or some shit like that. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear too. That they are not charged with the death of this baby. Nobody to date has ever been charged with the death of this baby. Nobody to date has ever been charged with the murder of Mike T because they all say Mike T did it, right? Now she was born sick and was NICU. Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Now that's crazy. That's crazy. That's fucked up. And my prayers go out to the mom. I didn't know Snoop had lost his grandchild. I ain't know none of that. But here we go, y'all. I'm finna fall back. Um, and I'm gonna listen with y'all.
And what we have here today, our number one tool in putting together this puzzle is back in time. We can figure out which puzzle pieces come together, which puzzle pieces go to this puzzle, which puzzle pieces prove that Desmond Jones was part of the conspiracy, the criminal activity, the crew that kidnapped a 13-year-old little girl and ultimately killed her. In order to understand why we're here today, we need to go back in time. We need to go back to June 28th of 2017. We're going to use lots of days because as this week unfolded, as Shavon goes missing, as these puzzle pieces start coming into law enforcement, we cover the span of multiple days. So looking at Wednesday, June 28th, that's the day that Shavon goes missing. You're going to learn through the course of this week that at 9:38, Shavon Randle was playing in her front yard, a 13-year-old little girl on summer break. You're gonna learn that at about 9:45, a neighbor from across the street in a suburban little area out in Lancaster observed a white four-door sedan with damage on the passenger side. This car becomes ultimately hugely important. This car is one of the biggest pieces of our puzzle. This car was the car Desmond Jones had. At 10:09, the neighbor, Mr. Brim, knows that he no longer really saw Shavon in the front yard, and not 15 minutes later, a call was placed from a private blocked number, a number we will never know who it belongs to, a number we could never track down, not with all the resources of the entire FBI, not with all the resources of the entire Lancaster Police Department, not with all the resources of the entire Dallas County District Attorney's Office. This blocked number calls the cousin of Shavon, Randle. You're going to hear from that cousin. Her name is LaDoris. There's lots of names. You're going to get a chart with all the names and all the pictures so that you can keep track of the players and the pieces of the puzzle. A call comes into LaDoris that says, give us our shit back or we're going to kill your cousin, Shavon Randle, a 13-year-old little girl who had nothing to do with any of the grown-up.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their
dangerous activities that Desmond Jones, Darius Fields, Laquan Wilkerson, LaPortia Polly, Devontae Owens, Kendall Perkins, Kentrell Perkins, and all of their two crews were involved in. Give us our shit back or we are going to kill your cousin. And you're going to learn that then a call was placed from Shavon's phone to LaDoris. So she knew that they meant business. This is all just within a 1 hour time span on the day that Shavon disappears. Now, the very first question, right? Once everybody realizes this isn't just a 13-year-old kid who ran away because she didn't want to babysit her cousin. It's not a 13-year-old who ran away because she broke curfew or she didn't turn off her phone when her mom or her aunt told her to. When everyone realizes this is the real deal, the very first question is why? What did that call mean when it said, give us our shit back? And you're gonna learn that LaDoris' boyfriend, the father of her children, had ripped off some very bad drug dealers. Some very bad drug dealers that Desmond Jones was part of. So we go back in time further because this is how we get the puzzle piece of the why. Why did this happen? What is going on? As these people are all living it in real time, they don't have the tool that we have now, that tool of hindsight. These puzzle pieces are coming in, and they, the FBI and the Lancaster Police Department, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Dallas County District Attorney's Office, everyone is taking in these puzzle pieces to figure out the why and to show that basically there was a delivery to the Motel 6 of a large amount of weed. This is not $5, $10, or $20. This is realistically probably $250,000 worth of weed. People who deal in that amount of weed do not play. So on Sunday, June 25th of 2017, there is a large delivery of marijuana to this crew. The head of the crew is a man named Darius Fields. His right-hand man is Devontae Owens, who may look young and innocent in that photo, but let me be clear, you will learn he is not. He and Darius run a large amount of dope here in the Dallas area, specifically in South Dallas. They run it from Colorado, they run it from Vegas, they run it from California, and they run it into our neighborhood. And they run with it all of their violent crime that the rest of these people help them with. You're going to learn that Laquan Wilkerson, he goes by Chuck, as in Chucky. Chuck is their muscle. Michael Titus up there on that photo, he is also their muscle. He's what's called a hitter. He and Chuck both will run the drugs and handle up on any security needs. Because if you think about it, every good business, right? They have inventory, they have cash on hand, and they have security. So Darius Fields and Devontae Owens, they have inventory. $100,000, $200,000 worth of high-grade marijuana. They have cash on hand. You'll hear about a lot of cash and the value of that dope. And they have security, Mike T and Chuck. Desmond Jones is best friends with Mike T, so he gets roped into this crew and starts running with them about a week or so before. Desmond Jones is as part of this crew as everyone else. And the last person on our chart involved with this delivery to the Motel 6 down in South Dallas on June 25th, that Sunday night, is LaPortia Pollard. She's the girlfriend of Fields, and she's going to be the reason, or one of the reasons, why all of this kicked off. Because you're going to learn that after the delivery of marijuana, that's it, right there. That's it. I will tell y'all, and you will learn that social media is an important tool or piece in this case. You would think that criminals learn that sometimes they do, and here we are. That's Mike T taking a selfie with bags and bags and bags of marijuana. That's Mike T taking a selfie with bags of marijuana at that Motel 6. You're going to learn that Special Agent Randle went in, took his camera, took the exact same photograph without all the weed to make sure that this was, in fact, Mike T on June 25th at that Motel 6, showing that it's not just talk. It's not just the streets saying someone had weed. It's not just the streets saying someone got robbed. You're going to learn that there is proof. Because on June 25th, the delivery to the Motel 6 happened. And then we fast forward to Monday, June 26th. LaPortia Polley, that girlfriend of Darius Fields, she gets left alone in that motel.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
That is a rookie mistake by drug dealers. Anyone in this game knows that you don't leave a female alone with the drugs unless she is willing to be a hitter. You leave Mike T, you leave LaQuan, Chuck with all the drugs. Because if they were to get robbed, Mike T and Chuck would defend their property. LaPortia wouldn't, and that's exactly what happened. LaPortia gets left alone. She doesn't get left alone by Darius Fields. She doesn't get left alone by Devontae Owens. She gets left alone by Mike T. You're going to learn that he was the weak link in this crew, and honestly, he probably set up the robbery himself. So
Right. Okay, y'all. So y'all hear that, right? So Mike T and Chuck was supposed to be in the room with LaPortia Polley guarding the reefer. Just make sure y'all hear that, because it's a lot of different rumors about what happened and why and who did what. So we're going to go off what they're saying in court. And according to what they are saying in court, Mike T and Chuck left. Now, they were saying that Mike T set it up because he left and then they got robbed. But that's what the street said. And just like with the Mo 3 case, you're going to see that what the street say, what the court say, ain't really matching up. But I'm shutting up. Let me finish playing it.
Crew to join another crew and make money, right? That's what all of this is about. The profit, make money. So Mike T takes a call and sets up basically a drug transaction. And you're going to learn that Mike T tells LaPortia, no, you're good. You stay in Motel 6. We'll be back. And it's during that time that Mike T's friend, Kendall Perkins, KP, comes and robs LaPortia. We can watch it happen, okay? So we're not going to be able to see inside the room to watch it happen, but here in 30 seconds, I'm going to let you guys watch the robbery, because just like social media, surveillance video is going to be another piece of our puzzle. It's another tool that once we have the hindsight, we can go back and collect to literally figure out what happened. Not what people say happened, but what happened. So you're going to learn that on Monday, June 26th in the evening, Kendall Perkins, top left, his brother Kentrell Perkins, bottom left, an unknown person and then some guy by the name Nell. We will never know who these people are. I have tried for 2.5 years. Every single day I have worked on this case, and you will learn that we all have worked in order to fill and give you as many puzzle pieces as we can. But on June 26th, that Monday, you're going to learn that there was a robbery. And here it is. It's 3.5 minutes long, and I'm going to point it out as we watch it. So this is video from the Motel 6, and it tells us the time is actually off by about an hour. So what it says is at 19:09 plus an hour, at 6 on June 26th. This is a video of the Motel 6. And what we're going to see here in just a second, I'm going to make sure that it's officially playing because I messed with it 50 times this morning to make sure it would play. All right, let me skip forward for now. So there's a robbery. I'll get this to play here in a minute. But basically you watch two cars. One is a brand new white Camaro. That's going to be our other crack in the case. A brand new white Camaro pulls up along with a second car. 4 males get out. It's these 4 males. They run up to a motel room. It just so happens that's the 5-minute time span that Mike T and Chuck leave. They leave LaPortia alone with a lot of marijuana in that motel room. And Kendall, KP, Kentrell, Nell, and the 4th male go in and they rob LaPortia. LaPortia, doing what any person who's just been robbed does, she calls 911, no. She runs up to the front desk, she calls Darius Fields. You're gonna learn she calls Darius Fields because when you have weed stolen, you don't really call the police, right? You might eventually, and you're gonna hear that she did eventually because she had a gun stolen. And Darius Fields told her, you better report that gun because if it gets used in a murder, it's coming back on you. They know how this game is played because they are the players of the game. So LaPortia, you can see right here, this is Darius Fields' phone, calls from the Motel 6 starting at about 8:23. And she calls Darius Fields, and not 10 minutes later, that's her waiting right there. There's another angle where that blue arrow is. Not 10 minutes later, Darius Fields comes up at the Motel 6. He's driving a blue Ford Escape. He flies into the Motel 6 parking lot. You can see on the video through the testimony. You can see Darius Fields get out of the car and do what anyone who's just lost $250,000 worth of inventory slams on the hood because LaPortia and Mike T messed up.
Taxes.
Almost 1 hour later, after she's had time to get her story straight with Darius, after Laquan and Mike T have come back, after she's had to face Darius Fields and tell him, this is what happened, I got robbed. You know who robs drug dealers? Other bad guys, other drug dealers, other hitters, right? You guys are all about to enter a world that you've never been exposed to other than watching the news while we are putting these puzzle pieces together. So LaPortia calls Lancaster PD. She reports that her cell phone, that some cash, a purse, jewelry, and 2 guns were stolen from her. Shortly thereafter, because of that white Camaro, and because it was Mike T who set up what was supposed to be just a buy-sell of the weed, they know who robbed them. Darius Fields and his entire crew, you're gonna learn, they have the name KP, they have his social media, they have his phone number, they know who his people are, they know that his girl is Ladoris Randle, Shavon's cousin. You're gonna learn that KP starts getting calls from Felix's phone at 8:45. The cell phones in this case are gonna be pieces upon pieces upon pieces of this puzzle. Because every time you take a phone call, you're gonna learn it pings off a tower. So someone, like the FBI, can come back later and show where you were. And if I were ever to go missing, if my phone is still on, that's hugely important. If I am up to no good, it's probably not good that the FBI can go back. But luckily for us, the crew that does the kidnapping doesn't turn off their phones right away. So we get a little bit of data, a couple pieces of the puzzle in order to figure out who was calling who and where they were. So you're gonna learn that KP, who is the guy who really kicks off the robbery, he starts getting calls from Fields at 8:45 that night. Within less than an hour, right after LaPortia's called 911, Fields already knows who's got his dough. KP gets a call from Mike T at 11:05. He starts getting calls from Devontae Owens at 11:31. All of that crew, Desmond Jones's crew, starts calling KP because why? They want their dope back. Either the dope or the money, or something bad is gonna happen, right? Give us our shit, or we'll kill the girl. Now, we move forward to the next day, June 27th, and you're gonna learn that basically the crew has a meetup. Over at 4607 Village Fair Drive, there is a store called Little World. There's like, we call it an arcade, but really it's an adult gambling room. There's a rap recording studio. It's a hangout place. In the strip mall, in the parking lot, it is a hangout place off of Village Fair. And you're gonna learn that from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, they, the crew, the kidnapping crew, have a meetup so that they can meet in person. They have all seen The Wire. They've all seen Power on Stars. They all know that if you send a text message and I get your phone, I, as the police, I might be able to look at the text. So they come in person and they have a meetup. And for 1 hour, the pieces of the puzzle that are going to be presented to you are that Owens, Wilkerson, Jones, and Field were all meeting up here at 4607 Village Fair, and they were planning their next move. Because at this point, he's not answering the phone anymore, and they're figuring out, what do? How do we get our money back? How do we get our weed back? And how do we make sure that in our community, everyone receives the message that you do not steal from Darius Fields and his crew? And so here, again, video, another piece of the puzzle. You're gonna watch the surveillance video and you're gonna see that these are the important clips. There's Fields' blue car, that same blue car that he slammed on the hood when he found out all of his stuff had been taken. There's Devontae Owens walking up to the car. Here's a little bit right before. Again, that blue car is the one on the left, and on the video you can see it move around, so we know that it's Fields' blue car. And then that white car with the unique passenger side damage, that white car that Desmond Jones borrowed from his girlfriend, that white car that you're going to learn he then provided and was used in the kidnapping of Shavon Randle. So after the planning meetup, this crew is pretty sophisticated, and you're going to learn that they start doing surveillance. So later that day, they have figured out who KP is, who robbed them. They have figured out who his people are, because he's not taking their calls. They have figured out who his girlfriend, Ladoris, is.
Introducing the Score Bet for Sunday, Monday, or any day that ends in Y. We're with you every game day with all the promos and player props.
And from 10:32 to 11:21, you're going to learn through the pieces of the puzzle that Owens, Wilkerson, Jones, and Fields are doing surveillance where Ladoris Randle works. She's working a job at that point over at Spectrum Cable. It's in Irving, it's a call center. And all of these phones are over there pinging, making calls, showing that they are all there. There are multiple calls between Owens and Wilkerson, and then Wilkerson, Chuck, and Fields. The surveillance then moves So they go from Doris's job to her home. To her home at 1342, where her kids were staying at that point. She was staying off and on. It's technically her mama's home. 1342 South Ridge, that suburban house down in Lancaster. Owens, Wilkerson, and Jones. So Devontae, Desmond, and Chuck, all of their phones are down there doing surveillance from midnight to 1:30, watching the house, watching the traffic, watching the cars, watching the people. During that time, Fields, he's the top of the group, he removes himself. And his phone is down near kind of Midlothian area. They're all calling each other, and in fact, Fields tries KP again at 12:30 while his boys are doing surveillance at KP's girlfriend's home. And that then fast forwards us to the next piece of the puzzle, the kidnapping. So from 9:51 to 9:58 in the morning, when we think about that first timeline where the neighbor saw her playing at about 9:30, and then by 10 didn't see her playing, and we have surveillance video of, wait for it, a white car with lots of damage on the passenger side, a white car with lots of damage on the passenger side that Desmond Jones provided. You're gonna learn that during that kidnapping, Devontae, Desmond, and Chuck's phones were all in the area of Shavon's residence, where she was staying, where LaDoris was supposed to be staying, or where the crew thought she was staying. And you're gonna learn that right after the abduction, Shavon's phone is now added into this, because we can watch her phone for a little bit, for the tiniest amount of time. But during that tiny amount of time, you're gonna learn from a cell phone expert who works for the FBI, Special Agent Sedgwick, that Shavon's phone, Desmond's phone, Devontae's phone, and Chuck's phone are all going from South Lancaster up 35, and they're all traveling together. You know why? Because they're in two cars and they've just kidnapped a little girl. But there are calls going in between him and Chuck. Is there? Then as we move forward, Devontae, Chuck, Desmond, and Fields, he has two phones. All of those phones are meeting around the location where ultimately Shavon's body is found. Ultimately, Mike Titus's body is found too, and we'll get to that here in just a second. So that takes us from Wednesday, June 28th. This family knows that their daughter, granddaughter, niece, cousin, sister has been taken, and they have no idea where she's at. And you're gonna learn that when that happens, when that kind of call comes in, when a child has been taken and ransom has been demanded, everyone swoops in. You're gonna learn that it's all hands on deck, that most of the officers work for 5 days straight, right? Because who's gonna go home and go to sleep? I haven't. And so you're gonna learn that there are essentially 3 lead agents from the FBI that are all taking in calls. So a tip line goes up, right? Every time your phone's made that loud pinging, you hear the Amber Alert, you see the Amber Alert as you're driving into work. That tip line is getting an alert, have nothing to do with our puzzle. It's just someone who thinks that they may have seen Shavon at a mall up in Plano, because everyone is trying to help. Because from June 28th, you're gonna learn all the way through Thursday, through Friday, through Saturday, everyone is trying to find Shavon and desperately hoping that we find her alive. But the experts know that the chances of finding her alive get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer as the minutes and hours and days tick on. Now you are going to learn that because we figured out the why pretty quick, and because the streets were talking, tips started coming in. Someone heard something from someone they saw on social media that had all the same names, and the names that kept coming up were Darius Fields, Devontae Owens, Laquan Wilkerson, Desmond Jones. You're gonna learn that the news aired that video of the white car, and that the mother of the owner of that white car, so the girl that Desmond was running with at the time, Kiki, her mom called in and said, that is my daughter's car. Her boyfriend has had it this week, that is my daughter's car, and we will not be part of this. Desmond didn't call him.
We promise a tenfold refund if it doesn't work. Traditional dentures bone loss and change your facial contour over time, but this denture completely avoids such issues. It can be worn successfully.
Starts getting names and figuring it out. As Special Agent Sedgwick is able to almost lie on just out delay, pick up on the phones and figure out, like, yes, these are pieces. And they go to this puzzle and they're all coming together. That they, all of law enforcement, Detective Rohack from Lancaster, Special Agent Ryan Randle, Special Agent Mike Mahan, Special Agent Jen Mulligan, everyone started going and interviewing witnesses. They started interviewing the potential suspects. And you're going to learn that Special Agent Mahan actually went and was able to get Desmond Jones on July 1st. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days after the snatching has occurred, you're going to learn that Special Agent Mike Mahan, along with some others, were able to talk to Desmond Jones. And that is when he started his storytelling. You are going to hear today and tomorrow that Desmond Jones gave 6 different statements. This man, who I anticipate is going to try to say that he was all under duress, that he had to do it because it was either him or her. You're going to learn that he lied and lied and lied and lied before coming up with something semi-close to maybe the truth. You're going to hear that on July 7th, Mr. Jones gave his final statement, and that was the statement where he admitted it was his girlfriend's car, that he acted as a lookout, and that this is what happened in the home that day. They, Jones, Mike T, Chuck, and Devontae, the 4, because Fields always removes himself, right? He's calling the shots from afar. Those 4 went and kidnapped Shavon Randle. They used 2 cars, that white car with the unique passenger side damage that belonged to Desmond's girlfriend. He tries to say that he didn't have any part of it, yet he knows details like she was brought out with a pillowcase over her head. You're going to learn that she was brought out of that home, that she was put in the back of the car, that she had her hands bound behind her. A 13-year-old little girl with no weapons at gunpoint has her hands bound behind her with like a blue Ethernet cable. You're going to learn from Desmond's own words that they put her in the car, that they take her to house 1, and then they take her to a second house. These are trap houses. They are not homes. They do not have electricity. No one lives in them. A trap house is something that we use in our world here in Frank Crowley, a world that you've never been exposed to until this week, is a house where there's no furniture, nobody owns it, people come in and out, you deal dope out of it, you store dope in it. Apparently you also store 13-year-old little girls that you have kidnapped. And what you're going to hear out of Desmond's own words in that final 6th interview, 1 week and 2 days after Shavon has been kidnapped, is what he says is after the kidnapping, ultimately she's taken to this trap house at 2208 East Keast. That in that house she is killed. He claims that Mike T killed her. We will never know who killed her because every single person who would have known is either dead. Shavon can't tell us. Mike T can't tell us because he's dead too. Or they have skin in the game, right? So when you hear these statements, what you're going to hear today and tomorrow, and what I want you to think about is if Tommy and Crystal and I go and we do Adam's 11, I'm always going to say Tommy was the trigger man, even if it was me, because I know who did what, because I was in. So you're going to learn from Desmond's own words that he knows that Mike T killed Shavon, and then he goes back in that trap house, and that he's present when Chuck, Laquan Wilkerson, and Devontae are also there, and Chuck, kills Mike T. Devontae tries to do this whole, like, I didn't see anything, I didn't know anything, maybe I saw it from the back door, maybe I was in the house, it's just one big open room. Maybe I was near it. But what you're going to hear from his own words is that every time he tells the detectives or the special agents a story, that story starts to grow, it gets caught in the lies. So we're going to again have the tool of hindsight, and what we're going to hear and what we're going to start with is his final story, because that's the one with the most detail, and although it's not completely true, it's probably the closest to the truth. And then we're going to go backwards to the story he originally spun, the story he gave to Special Agent Mahan right when he got picked up, to Special Agent Mulligan and Detective Rohack on July 1st, when he first tried to say, I don't really know anything about this. It's just my girlfriend's car. I don't really know anything about this, for hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's important that we listen to all of the stories, because that's where we know what kind of happened. So you're going to learn that on July 1st, 2017, Shavon Randle's body was recovered. Her family at least knew what happened. And honestly, I don't know if that's better or worse. Mike T's body was found. They had been baking in that trap house for days. Here are the additional pieces of evidence that I want you guys to focus. This case will take all week. There will be moments where your eyes are rolling back in your head because you're bored or you're tired, because we just have to get through it all. Because every single piece of evidence, every single witness that you're going to hear from the witness stand is going to provide us another piece to this puzzle. The cell phones are going to be multiple pieces and groupings of pieces. DNA, you're going to hear that we tested. I think it may have been one of the largest batches of testing, because at the end of the day, law enforcement, do a search over at that house, right? They do a search where Shavon was taken. They do a search of every vehicle that was possibly used in this car, so that white sedan, the blue Ford Escape. Chuck is associated with the black Lexus, and then there's an additional vehicle that Fields gets jammed up with, and they test everything, hoping and praying that maybe we will find something of Shavon in that car, and we do not. But you will hear as the additional pieces of DNA evidence that out of all that testing, the thing that we do get is Chuck. His DNA is with Shavon's DNA on a necktie that was used to tie her up.
Can you even see me right now? I don't think it's your screen. It's your vision.
So you
All right. I just came to let y'all know I was still here with y'all. What do y'all think so far? Who was Desmond's girlfriend? Who was her mama? Because they turned his ass in as soon as they seen the news, baby. They paired up and got themselves away from that case. They said, oh, hell no, you're not going to pull us in this shit with you. Okay? So that's one of my questions that I wrote down when I initially heard it. Who the hell was Desmond Jones' girlfriend? And who was her mama? Yeah. Let me know if I made it too fast, if y'all need me to put it back to normal, what you need me to do. Make sure y'all got your notebooks so next time we discuss this, we can discuss it. I'm finna get back out y'all way and let it finish.
hear that one of the pieces of the puzzle is Chuck being involved in the timing of Shavon Randle. You're going to learn that it was her blood. That's the DNA that was on that necktie. You're also going to hear about fingerprints, or really a lack thereof, because out of the thousands of fingerprints that were collected, there are none that come back to any of our defendants, and that's just not uncommon. There are so many people who have touched all of these items, their entire crew, parts of the robbery crew, law enforcement, and that's just not going to be a piece of the puzzle that helps us solve our puzzle. You're going to learn actually from a footprint expert, and this is how we know that Desmond Jones lies. See, the way that they killed Mike T is they had him clean up her blood. So they, Chuck and Devontae, made Mike T get down on the ground with bleach, and then they executed him. And Desmond Jones walks through that bleach. He then gets in one of the cars, Chuck's car, black Lexus, and leaves a huge foot imprint in bleach on a black Lexus floor mat. You're going to hear from a footprint expert that's going to tell us, we know, although Desmond Jones wants to lie about it, but you're going to learn that Desmond Jones was in that house, was near that body, because he steps in bleach and then gets into a vehicle, another puzzle piece. And then one of the biggest puzzle pieces with Desmond is going to be that white car that was used in the kidnapping. And finally, we get to all of his statements. So he gives 2 statements on July 7th. There was a recording malfunction, so they have to go back and redo it. July 6th, July 3rd, and then July 1st through 2nd. It's the early morning hours. And all of these statements provide you with puzzle pieces. All of the puzzle pieces then come together, and it's our job to lead through them. It's our job to start with the outline, right? Like you do in any puzzle, whether it's with your littles or yourself. We start building the border, the framework of what happened and on what day. Then we start filling in the puzzle pieces to figure out why. We start placing the puzzle pieces together so that at the end of this week, you can come back and find the defendant guilty of the kidnapping and murder, of engaging, of being a part of the crew, of being in cahoots with Darius Fields, Laquan Wilkerson, Devontae Owens, Michael Titus, and LaPortia Polly to commit the abduction and murder of Shavon Randle.
Ms. Falk, does the defense wish to make a statement at this time?
We will reserve our right to do that.
Thank you. Can you?
Yes, Judge, thank you. And Judge, may I call my first?
Please.
All right, this time the statement called Rosina Randle.
Your Honor, we even go up the rule.
All right, for anyone in the gallery, if you intend to be a witness in this case, you need to absent yourself from the courtroom and are not allowed to talk about it to anyone except a lawyer. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this cause will be the truth? Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, proceed on.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so before we get started, can you spell and say your name for us?
Rosina Randle, Rosenina Randle.
All right, and Ms. Randle, you know why you're here today. I need you to say yes or no.
Yes.
All right, so I would like to just go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
So in order for us to understand your testimony, I do need a little bit of the family tree. So can you tell me how you're related to Shavon Randle?
Shavon is my niece. That's my brother's child.
All right, what's your brother's name?
Charles Randle.
All right, and back in the summer of 2017, how old was Shavon?
13.
Was she living with you?
Yes.
How long had she been living with you?
She been there about 2 years.
Who else was living in your home with Shavon and you?
It was me, Shavon, Fabian, LaCassie,
All right, who's baby?
my husband.
All right, and who's LaCassie?
That's my daughter.
All right, and LaCassie, how old was she back in the summer of 2017?
I believe she was probably like.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
15 or 16.
And does she have an intellectual or developmental disability?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
She have Down syndrome.
Now, some adults or teenagers that have Down syndrome are able to communicate, and some really aren't. Tell us about LaCassie's ability to communicate.
She can understand some things, and some things she really can't. She can like nod her head, and you ask her a question, she'll nod her head and be like, yeah, no.
Okay, so she can, we call them leading questions.
Yeah, leading questions.
And she can say yes or no.
Uh-huh.
If you asked her, say, tell me what happened today, would she be able to answer that?
No, she would not.
Okay. And in the summer of 2017, specifically on June 28th, so Wednesday, do you need me to pull out the calendar? Or are you okay?
I'm okay.
All right, so Wednesday, June 28th, who was staying in your house then, that day?
It was Shavon and LaCassie.
Was Shavon being the babysitter of LaCassie?
I'm not gonna say the babysitter,
Okay.
but she was there. They was there together.
Was Shavon able to stay home alone at that age?
Yes.
And was LaCassie able to stay home alone?
No.
Now, were you working that day?
Yes.
Tell us where you worked.
I was working at Millbrook. It's a rehab center. It's a healthcare center.
How long had you been working there?
About 3 years now, but then it was like about 2 years.
Where is that located? I'm not to use all these big words. How close is it to your house?
I want to say like 5 minutes away.
So pretty close.
Yes.
What were your hours?
6 to 2
Morning or night?
morning.
So was Fabian staying home then, or was he at work?
He was at work.
Where was he working?
He worked at a construction company in North Dallas called Southwest Construction.
What time would he go to work?
6 in the morning.
So on June 28th, 2017, you and Fabian both would have left for work.
Yes.
And then at some point, did your day change?
Yes, it did.
Okay, tell me about what time that was.
I don't remember what time, but I know it was during the early of the daytime.
When you say early, morning time?
Morning time.
Okay, what happened?
I got a call from the Dory saying somebody called and said they took Shavon. So
Let me stop you there. What was the address where Shavon was staying?
1342 South Ridge, Lancaster, Texas 75146.
And is that in Dallas County, Texas?
Yes.
All right. Now, you got a call from Ladoris?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Where was Ladoris?
I think she was at work.
Okay. As far as you knew, she wasn't at your house.
No, she wasn't at my house.
What did you think when you got that call?
That I was being punked.
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't true. Like somebody was playing a game with me.
Was that something Ladoris would have done?
No, but I couldn't put it in my head that it was true.
And what was it exactly she told you?
To go home and check and see if Shavon at home because she got a call saying somebody took Shavon.
Did she tell you who called her?
No, she didn't tell me who called her.
What did you do?
I hurried up and left. I didn't even clock out. I just got in my car and left and went straight to the house.
And you said it was maybe 5 minutes away?
Yes.
And when you got to the house, what did you do?
I unlocked the door. I started checking every room I had in my house. I checked the game room, the kitchen. I looked in the bathroom, the closet. I went upstairs. I searched the bath. I searched everywhere.
You said you unlocked the door. Which door?
The front door.
Was it normal for it to be locked?
Yes.
You said that you started searching the rooms. Were you calling out?
Yeah, I was saying, Shavon, Shavon, and she wasn't answering. She wasn't saying anything.
Was it normal for her to not answer if you called her?
No, it's not.
Was LaCassie still there?
Yes.
Tell me, where was she?
As I started going up the stairs, I'm searching in the bathroom. I looked in LaCassie room, then I goes in this other room. I have a third room. I went in, and LaCassie was just sitting there in the dark, and she was just shocked, like she seen something and she knows something, but she can't really explain to me what happened.
And that's because she's not able to.
She's not able to tell me.
All right. Was she? You said she was shocked. Was she crying?
No, she wasn't crying. It was just an expression on her face that I knew like something had happened, but she just can't tell me what happened.
And the room that you said she was in, what kind of room was
it? It was a bedroom.
You said it was dark?
Yes.
Was that normal?
Yes, that's normal.
Okay, for her to be in there?
Yes.
Were you able to find Shavon?
No.
What did you do?
I called 911.
How are you feeling at this point?
I feel hurt.
I'm sorry, like as you call 911.
Oh, I was hurt. I'm really nervous because I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to get to. I'm trying to see what's going on. Where's my niece at?
And so you said that you called 911.
Yes.
Why did you call 911?
Because she wasn't at the house.
Your Honor, at this time I have permission to publish speech number 2.
You may.
Thank you. So you said that you called 911, right?
Yes, yes.
And we actually have that 911 call, so I'm going to get it set up. I'm going to keep asking you questions while I get this flipped over and started. Were you panicked at this point?
Yes.
Were you able to talk to Ladoris more?
No.
All right. Did you call her again?
No.
Why not?
I called my husband. And then after I called my husband, I called Shaquana.
All right. And why did you call Shaquana?
Because it's her daughter.
We skip that.
Oh.
I skipped that. Who's Shavon's mom?
Shaquana Person.
And how is she related to you?
She's my brother's baby mama. Charles Randle's baby mother.
All right. So she has children. Shaquana has children from your brother.
Yes.
All right. And does Shaquana live in Dallas?
Yes.
Shavon had been living with Shaquana before she came to live with you, right?
Yes.
All right. And you said she'd been living with you for how long?
About 2 years.
All right. Was that normal for you to take in any kids that needed special help or needed better schools?
Yes.
So you called Shaquana.
Yes.
What did you tell her when you called her?
I just told her that Shavon's not here. That someone came in here and took Shavon.
Why did you think that someone came in and took Shavon?
Because she wasn't in the house and she's not normally gonna leave. She's not gonna leave out.
But the front door was locked.
It was locked. That's what I didn't understand. Like, where was she at?
Did you see anything in your home that was out of sorts?
When I walked in, I noticed that the couches and stuff was kind of messed up, like it was like a shuffle or something down there.
Did Fabian come home?
Yes, he did come home.
Did Shaquana come over?
Yes, Shaquana did come over.
At some point, y'all have a large family,
Yes.
right? At some point, did everybody come over?
Yes.
Try to start helping.
Everybody came over.
And you said that you did call 911. So
Yes.
at this time, I have permission to publish the 911 call.
You may.
Thank you.
I get a phone. My daughter got a strange phone. Down her phone saying they had my niece. I get to the house. My niece is nowhere in the house. I'm supposed to know with my daughter.
Sorry, Judge. I tried to take my kids off the screen and mess it up. Hold on.
1342 South Ridge. Yes, my other daughter, she got the message, and she called me on my job. She was like, Mom, I got a phone call from my man saying, just work, and I come home, she's gone. Yes, ma'am. black. Wanna say, oh, 02? No, ma'am, she has Down syndrome, so she can't even tell me what happened. No, ma'am, she don't ever leave out the house, so that was like, that was kind of strange, cause she straight open the door. I don't know what they. No, my daughter has Shavon, don't have Down syndrome. No, I don't. It's currently in a ponytail, and it's currently, so it's gonna be all over her head. Any contact with her? I'm Rosina Randle. R-O-S-E-N-I-N-A. Thank you.
Ms. Randall, you said that Shavon's phone number was 214-434-7377, right?
Yes,
Did you try to call her that morning?
yes.
What happened when you called her?
It just went straight to voicemail.
Was that normal?
No, because she'll pick up.
What were you thinking?
Or she'll text that something was going on. It's not.
When you first heard that Shavon was gone, did you think maybe she's just a 13-year-old who ran away?
No,
Why not?
because that's not Shavon. She's not going to do that.
Now, the other thing that you mentioned is that you had to unlock the door.
Yes.
Tell us what the door is like. Like, is it a deadbolt or is it the type that's in the doorknob?
It's just the type that's in the doorknob. You just turn it up and then lock it as you're going out.
So if you were going from the inside to the outside to lock the door, would you need a key?
No, you just got to hit the thing, just turn the switch up and it'll lock.
And then coming from the outside,
You need a key.
inside.
You need a key.
When you left for work that morning, do you remember if you locked the front door?
Oh, yes.
Okay, is that normal?
Yes, that's normal.
All right, and then you mentioned that some of the furniture was a little off. Right?
Yeah.
Were there any other doors or windows that caught your attention?
Oh, when I went upstairs in my room, I noticed somebody being there rambling like they was looking for something, but I still had no clue.
Thank you, ma'am. You may stand down and you're free to leave the courtroom.
May I speak, excuse
She
me?
may.
City Hall Officer Tapscott.
Good morning. You do solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this cause will be the truth. Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you start by telling us your name and what you do for a living?
My name is Jason Tapscott. I'm a police officer with the Lancaster Police Department.
What's your assignment? What do you
I'm currently a detective.
in any special unit?
Capers, crimes against persons.
So what types of cases do you handle as a detective in Capers?
Typically family violence, assaults, robberies.
Now, how long have you worked as a police officer and officer?
13 years and 3 months.
Taking you back to the summer of 2017, were you a detective in Capers at that point?
No,
What was your job duty?
I was a patrol officer.
Tell us what types of things you do as a patrol officer.
Well, one, we are assigned to a district. So we typically drive around our district, trying to prevent crime, see crime, make contact with citizens. We conduct traffic stops, take reports. And we do that over a 12-hour period.
All right. What type of, what was the time of the shift that you were working in late June of 2017?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Specifically on Wednesday, June 28th, 2017, did you respond to a call?
Yes.
What type of call was that?
Missing person.
And tell me how it is that you get assigned to respond to it.
Each officer is assigned to a district. So when a call CADs up out of that district, when it's originated from dispatch, it's assigned to the district officer. And then, so it comes on your screen and then you hit in or out and go.
Okay, and when we say call, we need a 911 call, right?
Any call.
Okay. Hypothetically, it could be a 911
Yes.
call. It goes to dispatch, right?
Yes.
And then dispatch would assign it if it's in your area geographically for you to go to.
Yes.
Now, specifically, was part of your area 1322 Southbridge Drive?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to show you for the record, I'm going to be referring to State's Exhibit number 3. Down here at the bottom, this is Lancaster, right?
Yes.
And then in the center, we have Dallas, right?
Yes.
All right, and then specifically in State's Exhibit number 4, this is
Yes. Without,
a little bit of a frame of reference, right?
yes.
And why is it that you get that kind of information before you just walk into a house or onto a scene?
Well, dispatch tries to get as much information as they can.
A 13-year-old missing in the middle of summer.
Well, I thought maybe she snuck out, typically, but you always have to be open-minded. You never know. But that was my initial thought.
All right. Had you been to other calls before where 13-year-olds had either snuck out or run away?
Yes.
All right. Did this call quickly turn different?
Pretty quick.
Why?
When I arrived, this female outside, noticeably upset. And I believe her daughter was with her.
Okay. Now let me pause you there.
Yes.
So I'm showing for the jury State's Exhibit number 5. When you say outside, it was outside of this home, right?
Yes.
Which a better close-up shot is here in State's Exhibit number 6. Right?
Yes.
And you said that her daughter was with her?
I believe so.
Not the missing child.
Correct.
Another daughter.
Yes.
All right. So were you able to interview the adult that was there, the female?
Yes.
And that was Rosina Randle, correct?
Yes.
Based off what she told you, what did you do?
I listened to what she had to say, and she was very upset. And I asked her about Shavon, and would she have gone off with somebody? Is it something she typically does? And she was really upset. And you're starting to think, I don't know. And then she's taking care of Cassie. And so, and
You
like
said she was taking care of
watching her with her,
Which she?
Shavon,
Okay.
at the house. And Rosina was adamant that this is something that's totally out of character for Shavon. And then I was told that by Rosina that she had received a phone call from the Doris saying that she was contacted by somebody who said they have Shavon.
And at this point, you maybe don't know who the Doris is, but she's another family member, right?
Correct.
And so based off that information, is this even more heightened at this point?
That's the way I felt. So I would say within 7 to 10 minutes, I notified my supervisor that we had a problem.
Why did you notify your supervisor?
It was my gut feeling.
What was the purpose of you notifying your supervisor?
To let, well, this could be a serious situation. And clock's ticking. That's the way I took it.
When you have a child who's been abducted, is time of the utmost importance.
It is.
Looking back now, with hindsight as our tool, we know that the child had been abducted, right?
Yes.
And so time was of the utmost importance.
Yes.
Do you then quickly go through the house as people, your supervisor, your sergeant, start making the scene?
Yes.
Why are you going through the house?
Looking for evidence.
What kind of evidence are you looking for?
Anything that may help us find Shavon.
Okay, now I'm going to direct your attention to State's Exhibit number 8. This is a close-up of the door, and specifically of the door locks, right?
Yes.
Did you notice any obvious damage to the door frame?
I don't recall.
All right, looking at this photo here on States 8, have you ever seen a door that's been kicked in?
Yes.
Okay,
Does this
wait.
appear to be consistent with the type of door?
Wait, because we did have some technical difficulties. Do y'all need me to go back? Y'all need me to go back? Where you going, baby? Get your black. Okay. Oh, do y'all need me to go back? Because it did mess up. Whew. No? You good? Yes? Good. Keep going. Go back a few seconds. Go back a few minutes. What I need to do? The latency must be high, baby, because it's taking y'all a minute to respond. Let me know what I need to do. Okay. We good? Proceed. All right, bet. And yes, Auntie Fee, that is the Lancaster Police Department, Capers Division, baby. Capers is in every homicide case I've seen. But I mean, it is crimes against persons, so that do make sense. But all right, here we go.
No.
All right. For a door that's been kicked in, normally there's damage where the lock is, right?
Yes.
And there's either damage to the door, damage to the frame, or both.
Yes.
All right. You didn't observe anything obvious for the front door, correct?
No.
Now, moving into States Exhibit number 9, States 10, States 11, and States 12, what room is this?
Living room.
And is that the first room when you walk into the home?
I believe so.
Now, moving over to States 13 and 14, this is just part of the kitchen area, right?
I believe so.
Did you notice anything out of sorts or obvious in the living room or the kitchen area?
No.
Now, moving on to States 15, and I call it kitchen, I meant kind of the breakfast area or dining area.
Okay.
States 15 and 16, this is actually the kitchen, correct?
Correct.
And did you notice anything that looked to be of evidentiary value or out of sorts in the kitchen?
No.
Now, moving forward to States Exhibit number 19, and then that glare is really bad. But if I look here, it states, thank you so much. Let me look at, so States Exhibit number 20, is this pool table or game room?
Yes.
And that's actually what's in there, although it's just not showing up on that picture, right?
Yes.
Now, moving forward to States Exhibit number 21, again, this is the game room.
Yes.
Anything obvious that you pick up in there?
Not that I recall.
All right. Really walking through the entire house, was there anything that you saw that you were like, oh, this will crack the case later?
No.
All right. Now, moving over to States Exhibit number 18, this is just kind of a little hallway area near the kitchen, right?
Yes.
And then States Exhibit number 17 is the staircase going up to the second story.
Yes.
States Exhibit number 22 and 23 are just a closet, right?
Yes.
Now, why did you take a picture of this?
When we have a crime scene, we take pictures of the whole house.
Okay, no matter what, right?
Yes.
Have you ever had a case before where, looking back, using hindsight, once you have more information, you can find things in the crime scene photos that weren't obviously there?
At times.
All right. Now, moving forward to States Exhibit 24, top of the staircase, and then 25 gets us into the bathroom. States 26 here is just a picture of the bathroom, correct?
Yes.
And then States 27.
Yes.
And that's actually you there in the photo, right?
Yes.
Moving forward to 28, and then 29, 30, 31. Was this one of the bedrooms?
Yes.
Do you recall if you knew or if you learned which bedroom this was?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you learned where Shavon had been taken or abducted from within the home?
No.
Now, looking at 32, this is just the closet from that room, right?
Yes.
Lots of stuff.
Yes.
Right? 33, again, is a bedroom. 34. Tell us why you took a close-up photo here underneath the bed in
We just-
33.
Just did it. This is something I don't remember exactly. I remember having this conversation, but I just can't remember why I took that picture in particular.
All right. Now, 35 is just a picture of the mirror from the dresser, right?
Yes.
36 is a close-up, and 37 moves us into the next bedroom. 38, 39 are both just pictures of that second bedroom, correct?
Yes.
And I'm calling it a bedroom. There wasn't really a bed in there, but it's clear that that is what it was meant to be, right?
Yes.
Now, 40 is just a closet. And then 41, again, gets us into the next bedroom.
Yes.
42, I'm sorry, and 43 are pictures, again, of the last bedroom. And then 44, 45, the bathroom, 46, the bedroom, 47, and 48 are photos of the closet, correct?
Yes.
All right. Why did you take photos of the entire home?
When we take photos of a crime scene, we typically take as many photos as possible because you'll need to present it in the case and you may obtain evidence later. You never know.
Okay. And is that what you did here in this case?
It is.
Now, you said that your supervisor, so your sergeant made the scene. Did other officers respond as well?
Yes.
Approximately how many officers were there?
Administration came out.
What does that mean?
Chief.
To the chief of the police?
Mhm.
Okay.
A couple of officers on my shift. Probably all the officers on my shift. I don't know without looking at the call sheet. But there was a lot of us out there.
All hands on deck, is it fair?
Yes.
At that point, did any law enforcement agents or officers from other law enforcement agencies come out?
I believe later in the day.
Okay. When you were out there, did the FBI join you?
I don't recall.
Okay. Did like the Texas Rangers come out while you were there in the morning time?
I don't recall. I don't think so in the morning.
All right. But at some point as the day progresses, other people join.
Yes.
Because we need more hands on deck, right?
Yes.
After you do all the photographs, did you interview any witnesses out there?
I interviewed Rosina. We could not speak to LaCassie. She couldn't communicate with us. She indicated something was wrong.
Tell me what you mean when you say Cassie couldn't communicate with you.
She has Down syndrome and she wasn't able to communicate, but she was upset. She tried the best she could. It was obvious something was wrong.
And how was it obvious? How could you tell she was?
Just very upset. I mean, I was there with Rosina and we're talking to her and you just know, you can see it in her body language, the way she's talking, something's wrong.
Okay.
Just can't quite, she can't tell us.
Okay, and when you say she can't tell us, I mean, she can't get the words out to verbalize what her thoughts were.
Yes.
But you said that she did confirm that something was wrong.
Yes.
How long did you try to speak with her?
I don't recall.
Like a long time or a short time?
Short time.
All right. Was there anybody else out there that you spoke to?
Eventually spoke to Shaquan and Ladoris.
And that would be the mom of Shavon.
Yes.
Is Shaquana.
Yes.
And then the cousin is Ladoris.
Yes.
And that's Rosina's daughter, correct?
Yes.
All right. After you spoke with them, was there anybody else out there that had information for you to talk to? Or was it just more family gathering?
More family gathering.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
Detective Cascio,
Yes.
while you were there, you learned through your talking to Rosina that ransom calls had come in from Shavon's phone, is that correct?
Yes.
And from an unknown and private number multiple times, is that correct?
Yes.
Who was the supervisor that you got in contact with?
Sergeant Logan.
When other people started to arrive, was Sergeant Alexander among them?
He was at the station.
Was he on the phone?
I believe so.
Thank you. I pass witness.
Thanks. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may stand down there free to leave the courthouse. Let's give the jury a break. It's looks like it's 10:20. If you'll be back in the jury room at 10:35, please.
All rise.
All right, we're gonna skip through. Yeah, that's really fucked up. And then for the cousin, the one that was going with KP, to not say nothing initially, but I think that's day 2 of the trial. Okay, hold on.
Can you tell us your first and last name and spell your last name for me, please?
Yes, it's Michael Mahan. Last name is Mahan.
Who do you work for? What do you do?
Currently, I work for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I'm assigned to the counterterrorism division at a facility in Virginia, program managing international terrorism matters.
Just because it's Super Bowl, tell us what counterterrorism is.
Basically, just we focus on threats here in the United States from homegrown violent extremists, folks that want to attack America based on jihadi views.
And that has nothing to do with the case for which you're here tonight.
That is correct.
So back in the summer of 2017, did you live somewhere else and have a different job but still with the same agency?
Yes. So back then, I was assigned to the Dallas division. I was working essentially narcotics investigations. I was signed as a street agent on the transnational organized crime Western Hemisphere, which is essentially focused on cartel dope.
When you say dope, what do you mean?
Controlled substance such as cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, stuff like that.
So drugs.
Yes,
All
drugs.
right. When you start working in this world, you pick up the lingo, right?
Yes,
All
you
right.
do.
So if you use lingo that you and I might know, I'm going to stop you and have you explain it to those of us who are not in what we call the dope world.
Yes,
All
my
right.
apologies in advance if I do use that lingo.
I'll stop you,
All
or
right.
we'll get an eyebrow raise and we'll know. Now, tell me, how long did you work in that division here in Dallas?
I got to Dallas from the Baltimore division in 2014 and departed Dallas about a year ago.
How long were you in Baltimore before you came to Dallas?
In Baltimore, I was there from 2010 to 2014.
And did you do the same type of investigations and work in Baltimore?
So in Baltimore, I was assigned to financial crimes squad the entire time, and from that squad, I would do temporary assignments to the violent or safe streets task force, which is focused on gang work.
You said the Safe Streets Task Force. That's a task force or initiative to make streets safe. It's because the streets are not safe, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and then we have one of those initiatives here in Dallas now as well, right?
We do, yes.
Collectively, how many years have you worked as an agent for the FBI?
I am coming up on 10 years in May of this year.
Now, moving back to the case for which you're here to testify, to the summer of 2017, specifically late June. Your Honor, may I approach the law?
You may.
You were assigned a case involving the abduction and ultimately the murder of Shavon, correct?
That's correct. I participated in that investigation.
There were multiple agents on the case, right?
Yes, numerous investigators.
And multiple, what I would consider or call lead agents as well, right?
Yes,
This case unwrapped, basically, puzzle pieces came in of information over many days, correct?
that's correct.
Do you think that it would help you, me, and the jury if we had a calendar just up in the background while we talked for a moment?
Absolutely would help me.
All right. And the calendar that I have, just for record purposes, is just an enlargement of what's already been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit number 1. All right. Now, moving to, Judge, can you see me okay?
I can, thank you.
Moving specifically to Wednesday, June 28th of 2017, you didn't actually jump into the case on that day, right?
That's correct.
But based on your investigation, you know that the case began that day, right?
I do, yes.
Can you tell us just very generally how the FBI got involved in a case off of Southbridge in Lancaster, Texas?
Yes, so it's my understanding that anytime an Amber Alert is issued, the FBI office in that particular region will reach out to the locals to determine whether they need assistance or not. And from my discussions with the investigators, that's what transpired, and Lancaster Police Department did want our assistance in this case.
Was there an Amber Alert that went out in this case?
Yes.
And an Amber Alert is basically a statewide or sometimes nationwide alert, depending on the circumstances and facts, alerting the public that a child is missing, right?
That is correct.
Now, you said that you learned it from investigators and other investigators joined in. Are those special agents who work with the FBI?
They are, yes.
And the two other primary investigators that worked on this case with the FBI, what are their names?
You have Special Agent Jennifer Mulliken, and then Special Agent Randle is who I had most of my interaction with.
All right. Now, on Wednesday, June 28th, 2017, the Amber Alert goes out and the FBI gets involved. Physically, how does that happen? Right? Because y'all have your own office.
Yes. So,
Where's that office?
so a lot of these, so our office is, I always say it's near where Texas Stadium used to be. It's near like 183 and Northwest Highway, a large structure.
And this case came out of Lancaster, which is South Dallas, right?
That's correct.
So physically, how is it that y'all get involved? Y'all being the FBI get involved with a local police agency?
So typically what happens, it's usually decisions made well above my level, but our management will decide how to deploy assets, whether we'll have a commit. Okay. Sorry, investigative bodies, folks that are going to aid and assist in the investigation for Lancaster.
So other agents who can literally hit the streets and start interviewing people or doing research on the computer or making phone calls, right?
That's correct. And professional staff employees such as intelligence analysts and staff operations specialists who can also assist in investigation.
What do intelligence analysts and staff operations specialists? It sounds like an episode of Homeland. So
Okay.
tell us just generally what those type of people do, what
Yeah.
services they provide.
So typically the staff operations specialists and the intelligence analysts, they're really looking, they're in the office really looking at the puzzle pieces. For instance, they're looking at toll records, which show calls being made from phones that are of interest. I don't know if they did this in this case, but they look at financial transactions, trying to tie, just essentially, agents will go out, cover leads, and then we bring it back and they help us piece the puzzles together, look at the grand puzzle rather than just, the interview that I did or the lead I covered.
Now, you said that some of the intelligence analysts or staff operations specialists may look at toll records. What are
Yes.
those?
So essentially, when you make a phone, So I would equate it to like a bank statement. When you make a call, it's going to show who you called. Essentially, it's your monthly billing statement that you see, where it shows like all the calls you made outgoing, all the calls you made incoming. Same thing with text messages.
And that's something that you maybe have been trained on, but that is not your expertise, right?
That's correct. So working narcotics investigations, you learn pretty quickly that is one of your number one investigative methods that you use is to look at phone records.
And in this case, we have a specific forensic expert who was the analyst that did all of our cell phone work for all of the numbers involved in this case, right?
That is correct. I do not claim to be the expert on that, just to be clear.
That's Mark Sedgwick, right?
That is correct.
And they'll get to hear from him probably in a few days, maybe Thursday or so.
Yep.
Okay. So it's all hands on deck, to be fair, right?
Yeah, this investigation was very important to, I can say at least for myself, it was very important, and everyone else. When something like this happens, we want to put as much resources as we can to, return Shavon to her family. So.
And on June 28th of 2017, when the Amber Alert first goes out, are you hopeful that we're going to be able to return Shavon to her family alive?
We're always hopeful.
Do you know that statistically it gets less and less likely depending on how long after the abduction the case is solved?
Yeah, having worked these, unfortunately, that is typically the case.
Is this not the first child abduction that you've worked?
It's not, no.
Now, on Wednesday, June 28th, you said that people are basically getting like investigative leads. Physically, where are you guys? Are you in your office? Are you at Lancaster? Are you sitting at a Starbucks down there? How does that work?
Yeah, I do not know when the command post was set up, but the command post was located at Lancaster Police Department. It was not in our office.
What is the command post?
The command post essentially, it is where we all gather and organize to investigate these cases. So you'll have special agents, you'll have local law enforcement from Lancaster PD, you'll have the staff operations specialist, the intelligence analyst. We all gather there to essentially investigate this crime.
And if there's not like a location on site, you guys literally bring in a trailer, an RV, or bus type thing, right?
We do, yes.
Was that done in this case?
Oh, I do not recall. I know that.
Let me ask it this way: did you guys set up a command post?
We did, yes.
All right.
So,
and that was in order to recover or find Shavon Randle, right?
that is correct.
What happens after an Amber Alert goes out to the public? That was a very vague question. Do you guys start getting tips or calls?
That is correct. Yeah.
How generally do those come in to y'all at the command post?
On this command post, I can't recall exactly how it was set up. Sometimes FBI will establish a phone number for folks to call in. I think sometimes in the past I've seen that they'll establish an email address, and essentially those tips will come into the command post, and there's folks there that receive those and then disperse them accordingly as the agents and investigators who are on staff are assigned various leads.
Okay. And I was just about to say, we call those leads, right?
That is correct.
And then is it y'all's job and Lancaster's job too to run down those leads to figure out, is this a puzzle piece that goes with our puzzle, or is it totally unrelated and just a good Samaritan trying to help?
Yes, that's correct.
And was that done in this case?
Yes.
All right. Were you able, y'all collectively, able to develop some puzzle pieces and leads that did flesh out and did become part of this case?
Yes.
Specifically, were you guys turned on to several names that are associated with Darius Fields?
Yes.
And can you tell us generally, and let me ask this, did you also come up with several names and a party to a robbery?
We did, yes.
I've kind of jumped ahead. So let me start you on June 28th. At some point during y'all's investigation, did you learn there was a robbery on Monday, June 26th?
We did, yes.
All right, tell us about that robbery.
Okay. So as she had stated, I did not start. I worked my first shift on Saturday, July 1st. So the information that I was hearing from other investigators is that there was some individuals that had narcotics stolen from them. And then in retaliation, they believed that the girl was kidnapped in order to get the narcotics back. It was very, at that time, I was not really involved initially. So I was getting just bits and pieces, very high level overview of what the investigative team was finding down in Lancaster.
Okay. And this robbery that happened on Monday, June 26th, that happened at a Motel 6, right?
That's correct.
In South Dallas.
Yes.
And it was a robbery of dope.
Yes.
And it was, at least by word on the street, a large amount of marijuana, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I have permission to publish State's Exhibit number 51 to the jury.
You may.
And Judge, may we approach? gonna show you state's exhibit number 51, and we're gonna go on quickly at 52, but I'm also gonna give each juror a copy of the charts too, so they can keep them all week to follow along. We have lots of names in this case, right?
I would say so, yes.
And not only do we have lots of people or names, but we also have nicknames or street names as well.
That's correct.
All right, so starting with state's exhibit number 51.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Do you want the lights off, Jen, or do you want them on?
I think these are okay. These are okay. These are bright enough to where we should be able to see them pretty clearly. So there were 4 people involved in the robbery, correct?
Based on my talks with investigators who were working the case, yes.
You weren't actually there for the robbery, right?
That is correct.
All right, so you can't tell us who was involved, but based off the collected investigation, we learned that it was a Kendall Perkins, which is KP, right?
You have to say yes or no. sir.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And then Kentrell Perkins.
That's correct.
And then a 4th male that's unknown and a person that goes by the name of Mill, right?
That's correct.
Do you recall what the relationship was between Ladoris and Kendall?
I believe they were in a romantic relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend.
And then Ladoris is cousins with our victim, Shavon Randle.
That's correct.
So figuring out why Shavon was kidnapped back on June 28th was really the first puzzle piece that we needed to put together to figure out if we know why she was kidnapped, then we might know who has her, right?
Per logical investigation, yes, that is what they would do.
A lot of times we don't have a rifle, but this one we did, right?
That's correct.
Now, moving forward to state's exhibit number 52, during the course of the investigation done by FBI in Lancaster, before you get jumped on, and then when you jump on Saturday, July 1st.
July 1st, yes, ma'am.
We were able to identify 6 other people who were involved with the kidnapping crew, correct?
Yes, based off my discussions with other investigators who have been working it since the 28th, that is correct.
So that's Laquan Wilkerson, who goes by Chuck, right?
Yes,
Darius Fields, who goes by King Darius, or D Fields, or King, right?
that is correct.
Devontae Owens, who actually goes by Trey.
Okay, I wasn't aware of Trey, but yes, that's Devontae Owens.
Okay. Michael Titus, who goes by MT or Mike T.
That's correct.
Desmond Jones, right?
Yes,
And then LaPortia Polly.
correct.
LaPortia is the one who was actually robbed back on Monday, June 26th, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and so I'm gonna keep this up, and then just got real nervous, I don't have enough copies, so we're gonna see. I've got copies for. And just for the record, I am tendering to the jury, it's been marked as states, or introduced actually, as states 51 and 52, which are just charts of who is who, both with the robbery and the kidnapping. Now, the various agents who were involved focused on the different suspects, right?
I'm not sure.
All right, let me ask it this way. Did you focus on one specific suspect?
I did because I covered a lead that was specific to Desmond Jones.
All right, and so the suspect that you focused on was Desmond Jones.
That is correct.
And when was it that he caught your attention?
That would have been my first shift, which was Saturday, July 1st.
And why was it that he caught your attention?
There was a staff operations specialist who was a support employee that was seeing some phone connectivity that concerned him, and he thought that I know her as Puda needed to be interviewed. I think she was initially interviewed, and he thought it would be a good idea for us to conduct a second interview of her.
What do you mean when you say phone connectivity?
So there were some. He saw some suspicious calls with, I guess, some individuals that were connected in this, and he just wanted me to go out and talk to him and see exactly what was going on.
So when you say he, you mean the other like intelligence analyst or staff member?
Yeah, it would have been a staff operations specialist, Thomas Ainsworth.
All right, and so Ainsworth told you should go talk to Jones because he's got some phone activity with the other players.
No, he told me I should go talk to Puda, who had suspicious phone activity.
All right.
So.
Do you remember Puda's real name?
I think it ends in William, LaQuisha William, maybe.
How about Laurenisha Smith? I
Laurenisha,
can pull out
yes,
the
that's
4
right.
binders and show it to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Through it, but
Yeah,
Laurenisha Smith.
Yes, and in this job, I know it sounds silly, but you typically go by street names with these individuals because when you're intercepting them on Title III's wires,
What does intercepting mean?
when you're basically hearing their calls because you have an affidavit to secure those communications, they typically do not go by their full names. They'll say, this is Puda or this is Mike T to that. So that's, as an investigator, that is how you typically know them.
So you use the nickname, right?
That is correct.
So Puda became kind of, not a suspect, but a person of interest, right?
Yes, because she was providing information that I thought was incredibly important to the investigation.
So did you go and you interviewed Huda?
I did.
What was her relationship to Desmond Jones?
I believe they were, I don't know if it's biological, but it was described to me as a brother-sister type relationship.
So she could have good information about Mr. Jones, right?
Yes,
And did you actually speak with her?
I did.
And was she cooperative?
She was very.
And after you spoke with her, what did you think it was important to do?
Interview Desmond Jones. Once I talked to her, I thought it was imperative that I get in front of Desmond Jones and talk to him.
And were you able to actually go meet with Mr. Jones?
I was, yes.
And is that on July 1st, Saturday of 2017?
That was the beginning of, the interview. So it gets a little hazy there just because it went into Sunday morning, but I at least started my interaction with him on the night of Saturday, July 1st.
Now, can you tell me where it was that you located Desmond Jones in order to talk to him?
Yes, so I think the area might be named Pleasant Grove. It's essentially just southeast of Dallas. And it was at I guess you could say an apartment complex. I don't know if they're apartments or townhomes, but essentially a type of, housing arrangement like that.
Okay. And was Desmond actually there?
He was, yes.
And who, if you recall, was he there with? You don't have to tell us the names, but were there other people in that home as well?
Yes, so there was a female that was apparently his mother or godmother. And then there was a male there that I did not know who was. There was a very young child, maybe I described as a toddler or an infant. And then Desmond Jones was there as well.
Who was with you from law enforcement?
So it would have been Task Force Officer Crystal Offray, who was with the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, detailed to the FBI in Dallas. And then we were also with an individual by the name of, I believe, Officer Beecham from Lancaster Police Department.
You said that she was detailed. What does that mean?
So that means she is technically assigned to, she works for Dallas County Sheriff's Department, but she is working with us on a daily basis. She's an individual that I worked with on the same squad when I was assigned to the gang squad in Dallas. Every day she typically comes out to the FBI Dallas and assists with our investigations.
Okay. And she would work gang or dope cases as well, right?
Yeah, you'll find that typically gang and dope cases are intertwined. They're connected.
Now, when you say gang, here in Dallas, but really across the nation, are you seeing a trend of the traditional, like old school gangs that we see like on National Geographic documentaries?
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, let me hear the question.
Or are you seeing a more loose definition of gang?
So in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Overruled.
I'm sorry. So for instance, in Baltimore, it was a much different gang type environment than it is here in Dallas. At least during my time in Dallas, I saw that it was more like neighborhood cliques, where in Baltimore, it was very structured, where you had journals, minutes from meetings, and there was a very, very strong affiliation with the gang rather than kind of just the neighborhood clique, like very loose affiliation, which is down here in Dallas, in my opinion.
Okay, and you're using the word clique, CLIQUES, right?
That is correct, yes.
All right. Now, specifically, when you go and you meet with Desmond Jones at the house down in Pleasant Grove, were you able to speak with him?
I was, yes.
And what was his demeanor when you got there to talk to him on Saturday, July the 1st?
So initially when we arrived, the individuals that were on the first floor told us to go up to the second floor to find him. And when we arrived, he was asleep on the bedroom floor.
Did you wake him up?
I did, yes.
All right. Did you guys, do you like bust down the door and go in there, or were you just consensual encounter?
No, just, nudged him and, there's natural commotion in the room as far as, that there were people present, which got him to start to wake up. So,
were you able to speak with him?
I was, yes.
At the beginning of your conversation, what was his demeanor like?
He initially just kind of was looking at us, not really a whole lot, just kind of staring off into space,
Did he seem scared?
I don't know if I describe it that way. I think he was more like, I don't know how to describe it. So it's kind of blank a little bit. We exchanged, comments, but that's about as much as I can say to him.
Okay. Did you tell him why you were there?
I did, yes.
Did you tell him what kind of the gist of what Huda had told you and why it was that you now were interviewing him?
Yes, I explained to him that, the reason we were there is because Puda.
Objection.
Sustained.
The jury disregarded the question and attempted response.
Denied.
So just without telling us, in order to have Rich grab an exhibit while we talk.
You may.
So without telling us exactly what Huda told you, did you tell him the gist of what Huda told you?
Say that again, please. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so without going into the content.
Okay.
Just, did you tell Desmond Jones what Kuda had told you
I did, yes.
in order to explain why you were there?
Yes.
And what was his reaction to that?
So I talked to him for a very long time, for hours. It was during that time there were a range of emotions. Desmond would be friendly with me, then he would be angry with me. He'd yell at me, and then he would start crying. And we were on, for lack of a better term, I'd say we were on that roller coaster for quite some time.
Did you talk to him about his involvement and relationship to a white car that had become basically a vehicle of interest in the case?
I did, but very generally. I was, at that time, I was just more focused on figuring out where Shavon Randle was. So my, at least, technique in the interview was to focus on motivating him to do the right thing and to figure out where she was.
At some point after the hours of conversation, did he tell you that he knew where she was?
He did not tell me. Based on my training and experience and seeing the level of emotions that he exhibited during that interview, I had a hunch that he knew where both Michael Titus was and also Shavon Randle.
Okay, so what happened?
So at one point, towards the end, as we were trying to motivate Desmond Jones to do the right thing, the black male that was in the very bottom floor had come up, and he came up to talk to Desmond and essentially was also trying to get Desmond Jones to do the right thing. And, our whole theme was to end this tonight. Like, we needed to know where Shavon Randle was tonight. And so they had a talk. I think at some point they prayed. I just observed it because it was, there's a lot of stuff going on. And then eventually you could tell he had the confidence. He had his confidence to, take us to where we were going to go. And he essentially he was like, all right, let's do this, and asked if he could smoke a cigarette. At one point he asked to speak to his godmother, which we allowed him to do both. And then essentially he looked at us and says, all right, let's do this, or some comment to that effect.
And then let's do this was like, let's end this tonight. Let me take you to Mike T and or Shavon, right?
That is correct. That is how I interpreted it, because the entire theme of the interview was, let's end this tonight. I need to know where this little girl is. And throughout the interview, he demonstrated that he and Michael Titus were very good friends. And I knew something based on reporting from other folks that were not FBI were saying that Michael Titus was dead. And also statements that Desmond Jones made to me during that interview alluded to the fact that Michael Titus was also dead.
Did you believe at this point when you're interviewing Mr. Jones on Saturday, July 1st, that you would find Shavon alive?
I did not, but that is based on my history of working these. I of course, was hopeful, but I was not confident.
Now, you said that basically Mr. Jones was like, let's go, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that to you, did he say, I'm going to be killed if I take you to where Shavon and Mike T are?
That night, I don't believe he said that.
Now, on July 1st, what did y'all do? You all law enforcement, once he seemed resolved to take you to body or bodies?
Yes. So as I said before, I was with Task Force Officer Crystal Offray and an officer from Lancaster Police Department. I believe it's Officer Beecham. So Desmond got into the front seat of Officer Beecham's vehicle. Officer Beecham drove. He got into the front seat. Desmond Jones did. Excuse me. I got in the seat behind Desmond Jones, so it would have been the rear passenger seat. And then Desmond's godmother, got into the seat next to me in the back seat behind Officer Beecham. And then Crystal Offray followed in a follow car behind us because we were not aware of where we were going.
That was going to be my next question. Did you have like an address that you could put into Waze or into Maps to figure out where you were going?
We had absolutely no idea where we were going. He did not give us any type of inclination as to where we were headed, other than what we thought was the Shavon and or Michael Titus.
So once y'all get in the car, how does the navigating go?
So Desmond Jones is sitting in the front seat next to Officer Beecham, and it's really just turn left here, turn right there, turn left at the next light, directions like that. And so we were just, I don't want to say flying blind, but we had no idea where we were headed.
In your mind, were you hopeful that you would be just going to a house to recover Shavon and maybe Mike T, but also concerned you might be going to an ambush?
We were. I was on the phone. I didn't know if we were going to an active dope house, which typically they have firearms there. So I was in the back seat on the phone with the command post, in particular, Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Daniel Odom, and we were trying to get resources, at least in the vicinity, in case, we came up to a house that we didn't realize, had active individuals in there who were selling narcotics.
And you use the phrase dope house. Is that just I mean, I say home loosely, but it's a house or residence or place where dope is stored and sold.
That is correct. Usually it's an abandoned structure that people just use to deal narcotics to the community.
And another phrase that we use in Dallas to describe it as a trap house, right?
That is correct, yes.
All right, now I'm going to show you what we've already introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit number 53. Ultimately, were you taken to an address of 2208 East Boulevard?
I do not recall the exact address, but that is the area in which we were.
All right,
I know it was, I can tell you it was near the intersection of Sunnyvale and Keast.
And that is just kind of in the South Dallas area, right?
That is correct.
Near Oak Cliff.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you got to the location, I'm going to put back up the photos of all of our crew. When you got to the trap house, you said it was at Sunnyvale and what?
Keast, which is just south, I believe, of Illinois.
All right. So when you get to the house, describe to us what the house looked like from the outside.
So it looked like your typical stash house or trap house. It was white, appeared to be abandoned. There were no lights on. With there was a window in the front, but the door was basically made of like a plywood, not a normal door structure.
You may. Did it appear that anybody lived there?
It did not. When we arrived, there was no movement, no lights, and from looking through the window, I did not see really any type of furniture that you would common households would have.
And what, if any, cars did you see out front?
I did not see any cars other than the law enforcement vehicles that we arrived in.
Did Task Force Officer Offray also join you?
Yes, as we pulled up, she was also present.
For the record, I'm going to show you, this was just the quickest one I could find, but I'll be referring to State's Exhibit number 366, which has already been admitted. Is this a picture? This is kind of the side view of the house, right?
That is correct.
The front of the house is on the left side or the right side, if you recall?
It's on the left side. It's going to be the steps there.
Okay.
That would be the front of the residence.
And we can see here, I mean, there's plywood on it, right?
That is correct.
And is this how it looked, although it would have been dark outside?
Yes.
When you got there?
Yes, it was nighttime.
And it was nice. That was my next question. What time was it? Tell us who was present when you got to the house there at Keaston Sunnyvale.
Okay, so as far as law enforcement personnel,
When you first get there,
okay.
right? So Desmond Jones does the take a left, hang a right, go straight. Y'all get there. Who all is there when you first make it up to that house?
Yes, so Officer Beecham is there. Myself, you had Desmond's godmother. Desmond Jones was also there, and then Task Force Officer Crystal Offray was present as well.
Do you get out of the vehicle that you're in with Officer Beecham?
I do, yes.
And what is the first thing that you notice when you get out of that vehicle?
The smell of death hits you in the nose.
Was this the summertime?
It was, yes.
Had you smelled the smell of death before?
Just from animals. I had never smelled, a human body decomposing like that.
Would you say that the smell was pungent?
Yes, it was terrible.
So what do you think at that point when you make it to this house at Keaston Sunnyvale?
I knew that we had the location where we were going to find these individuals.
When you say these individuals, who's that?
I was under the impression that Shavon, Randle, and Michael Titus were going to be in that structure.
And that was based off the entire investigation, but also Desmond Jones taking you there, right?
That is correct.
What is his demeanor like when y'all get to the house?
Very quiet.
Is he sobbing?
No, he's sitting in the car, really not saying anything.
Is he expressing remorse?
No.
Is he acting scared?
No.
At that point, what do you?
I will say there was one. Sorry, just to back up. There is one item that I recall when he made like a gesture to the skies as we pulled up. Like we were hooking a U to get in front of the house, a U-turn, excuse me, and he made it. That was really the only gesture that I saw him as we arrived at the house.
What does that mean? What do you think that meant?
Like it was like a point to the sky, rest in peace type gesture.
Okay.
So.
When you and Officer Beecham get outside, you can smell the smell, and so you think that we probably have recovered bodies and not anyone living. What do you do at that point?
So I believe Task Force Officer Christopher stood at the car with Desmond and his godmother. Officer Beach and I went to that front window there that is on the left-hand side of the photo. And when we got to that front window, we could see that there was at least one deceased individual laying on the, I guess what you would call the living room floor.
Could you tell if that was a male or a female?
I could not tell. I could only tell that the individual was deceased. The individual appeared, just appearance from standing outside, that they had a gunshot wound to the head because there was blood spatter on the wall near where he was lying.
Can you tell us what blood spatter is?
Yeah.
Not the scientific explanation.
Yeah, just little like a stain of blood, like it was squirted on the wall in a rapid manner.
Now, you said that you were able to look through. Which window was it?
So if you move your finger to the left there.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little thing.
Okay.
You have a screen right there to your left.
Okay.
If you give me 2 seconds. If you touch, there should be like a red line that'll come up if you show us, or a circle.
Okay. So this is the window that we were looking through.
Was it boarded up, or could you see straight in?
We could see straight in.
What, if anything else, did you, or I'm sorry, where was the body you just described that appeared to have a gunshot wound to the head?
So I would have been over on this side, looking into this corner. And I would say that the body was lying somewhere along this wall, towards maybe the back or the middle.
And right here, where I just marked with red, would this have been where another door is, or a window?
That I'm not sure. I did not pay much attention to that. There was actually, if you keep going around the house, there was another door on the back. And that door you could actually see into the rear of the house. It was bent a little bit to where you could peek in. And from there, I believe I also saw at the time, a body laying, that same body that I spoke to earlier, laying on the floor.
And ultimately, several hours later, the FBI comes in and processes this house, right?
That's correct. So at the instruction of my assistant special agent charge, Daniel Odom, he advised me to not make entry and secure the scene. That way our evidence response team could come in and make sure that the evidence wasn't tainted.
And the evidence response team, they take thorough photographs, right?
Yes, the FBI tends to be very thorough in their
Like
investigations.
in a case like this, they may have taken upwards of 1,000 to 1,500 photographs.
Oh, I would say that's easy. So I know we can take hundreds on just a narcotic search on a basic investigation.
And the team lead, who the jury will get to hear from later and actually go through all the photographs, as far as you know, was that special agent Jen or Jennifer Brideman?
At the time, she was a lead for the evidence response team. So common sense would tell me yes, but I don't know specifically. She was a team lead for the evidence response team at the time.
Now, you said that your supervisor told you do not make entry, but secure this scene. What does that mean?
Essentially, he did not want anyone going in and contaminating the scene. So as you know, because I was on my phone on the drive over there trying to get additional.
You know what make it even more fucked up is as the family is listening to this in the courthouse, these fucked up gruesome details. You know, the judge tell them before court start that they can't show too much emotion. If they get too emotional, if they sobs, if they crying, and if they can hear you crying, if you snot nose like that motherfucker was in there coughing, do you know they'll put them out there, ask them to leave? Hey, Top Flight, baby. They will ask you to leave out the court until you can get your emotions in order so that you do not bias the jury. How about that? So that you do not bias the jury. You got to sit and listen to, as the family that love this child, listen to this bullshit. And you can't show your emotion. You got to be, listen, it take the strength of Job, baby. It take the strength of nothing but God. Yeah, seriously, like my family was having to leave out of the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? You can't show. They don't allow it. They don't allow it. But let's go. And to you funky motherfuckers who can't hit the like button with your looking ass, you can't share the live, you don't want to support the channel, you ain't got long. You got a hot hour left. And this will be the last time I cover anything like this for the general population. if you don't value this motherfucking channel, if you don't value this team, if you don't value this content, carry your ass, beat your feet, and kick rocks. Y'all got me and my team fucked up. You funky motherfuckers don't even want to hit the fucking like button. Shit. But you're looking. But your good looking ass. Justice for Shavon, my baby, Mo 3. Yeah, old boy, justice for him. Justice for him. It's sickening and ridiculous. And I pray that through this Mo 3 case, with all this terabytes of evidence, I pray to God that they find out for sure if Mike T killed that child or not. And if Mike T didn't kill that child, I pray all the rest of them, which is still crazy because y'all got the law of parties, right? So if Shavon was killed during the commission of a felony crime, a violent felony kidnapping, then all of them should have been charged with her murder anyway. That I really don't understand. Just going over these Texas cases, I don't understand what the fuck Texas be going through from the feds to the state. I really don't understand. I don't understand. That whole GRC where everybody got pleaded down to conspiracy to possess one count, and I don't understand it. I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. But fuck it. Let's go.
Resources, investigative bodies. I knew that there was going to be a lot of folks coming once we arrived, and essentially it was my job to make sure none of those folks went into that residence.
And did you do that?
I did, yes.
And were you right? A lot of additional resources and people joined this scene.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
By peeking in, did you know for a fact if Shavon Randle was also inside that home at Keystone Sunnyvale?
I did not know 100%. My gut, based on my training, told me she was in there, but I didn't know 100%.
And the house that was at Keystone Sunnyvale, this house that's right here in Stage 366, is that located in Dallas County, Texas?
I believe so, but I'm not. I don't know the lines. Yeah.
Dallas,
yeah. No, I mean, I would assume it was the city of Dallas, but I don't know the exact county lines.
But I can ask somebody else who's more familiar with Dallas.
That's correct, yes.
And maybe recommend she was the team lead on this one.
Yes, I know we, to be honest, I don't even know if Lancaster is in Dallas County. So we were in between. Like we started out in Pleasant Grove and then ended up here. And I'll be frank, that night I didn't even really know where we were because I was on the phone so much. I know we had Assistant Special Agent in Charge Daniel Odom was trying to get me to tell him where we were, and I did not know because I was trying to watch Desmond. I was trying to make calls. There was a lot of stuff going on. So.
And you're also watching outside to make sure that this isn't an ambush, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So once you get out there, you said lots of people joined. Does Special Agent Jennifer Mulligan also make the scene there at Keystone Sunnyvale?
Based on conversation with her, she was there, but I had departed before she arrived.
So at what point do you leave this home?
So Assistant Special Agent in Charge Daniel Odom arrived, and at that point he advised me to go to Lancaster Police Department where the command post was, because that is where they took Desmond Jones, and he wanted me to do a follow-up interview with Mr. Jones.
And when you say they took Desmond Jones, you just mean other officers?
Yeah, some other law enforcement officer. I'm not exactly sure who.
So roughly what time of day or night on July 1st, July 2nd is it when you go over to Lancaster Station?
It would have been near maybe midnight, maybe 1 a.m. I'm not exactly sure of the exact time.
So we're getting into the wee hours of the night.
We are, yes.
On Saturday, July 1st, early morning hours of Sunday, July 2nd, do you actually interview Desmond Jones on videotape there at the Lancaster Police Department? Or is it someone else?
I do not know. It was somebody else.
All right. Do you know who it was that interviewed him?
Yeah, I believe it was Special Agent Jennifer Mulligan and Detective Rohack from Lancaster Police Department.
And Detective Rohack was the local police agency, Lancaster Police Department, and he was their lead detective for the local agency, right?
That is correct.
And then Jen Mulligan was one of the, I would call y'all lead agents. I know that you don't really call each other that, but her, Ryan Randle, and yourself kind of did the heavy lifting for the FBI on this case.
Yeah, I would personally, I would say that Special Agent Ryan Randle and Special Agent Jennifer Mulligan were the lead agents on this investigation.
Okay. Later in the week, so moving forward to Monday, July 3rd, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so July 3rd through July 7th, did you interview or speak with Desmond Jones again?
I did on multiple occasions.
All right. And I'm going to start kind of inverted. All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to start instead of going chronologically like we normally do, we're going to start at the end and then work backwards and kind of use hindsight.
Okay.
So specifically on Friday, July 7th of 2017, did you interview Desmond Jones?
I did, along with Special Agent Ryan Randle.
And do you see Mr. Jones here in the courtroom?
I do, yes.
Can you, I know it's rude to point generally, but I need you to point him out and identify him by an article of clothing.
Okay, yeah, it's Desmond Jones is sitting to the left of the individual in a red tie, and he's wearing a necklace, maybe a blue or gray dress, button-down shirt.
And if I count just the chairs that are at the table, if I'm number one, Crystal Miss Biggins is number two, what chair would he be sitting in as we move over?
From you, I guess you could
Just
say.
the chairs at the table.
Okay, all right, the fourth chair then.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witnesses identified Desmond Jones.
The record will reflect.
So specifically on July 7th, you interviewed Mr. Jones, right?
I do, yes.
Why was it that you and Special Agent Ryan Randle went and interviewed him on July 7th?
He had, throughout the entire time, he was making quite a few inconsistent statements, and that was towards the end. And so I don't know exactly who wanted to do a polygraph, but they wanted to do a polygraph exam to see if he was willing to take one. And throughout this, Desmond and I had built up a good rapport. So Ryan Randle asked that I go down there with him to talk to him.
Why do you say that you and Desmond Jones had built a good rapport?
We had talked to each other numerous times, and I felt I felt as though we had a good relationship from our talks.
And it was good enough for you to be able to speak with him on multiple times, right?
I think so, yes.
Is there an investigative tactic like we've seen on TV before, where it's like good cop, bad cop when there's multiple people interviewing the suspect or witness?
Yes.
What was your role generally in all of these investigations or these conversations?
I would classify it as a good cop. I think I treated him with a lot of respect throughout that entire week.
At any point during any other conversations, did anybody like beat him up or hit him or twist his arm behind his back or anything like that?
No.
All right. And that would be an unacceptable tactic, correct?
I would have issues with that, yes.
Now, you said that there were multiple inconsistencies.
Mhm.
What does that mean generally?
Just he would say things, and then later on in the interview, the statements would not match up with what he told me previously. So just, I'm always, anytime I talk to somebody, I always think the devil's in the details. So I'm a very detail-oriented interviewer. So when those details don't match up through the course of the interview, I know that somebody is lying to me typically.
And in this situation, specifically your conversations with Mr. Jones, it's not only just during the course of one interview, it's during the course of multiple interviews, correct?
That's correct.
And would it be fair for me to characterize some of them are just outright lies?
Absolutely.
Right. And we know that because later he would admit that he lied about, maybe what he told you or told y'all Saturday, July 1st or Monday, July 3rd, compared to what he finally tells you on July 7th.
Yes. Typically with him, when we interviewed him, each interview brought out a little bit more truth. It was, to be frank, a very frustrating interview because he knew more than what he was telling. So every time I went in there, it was a lot of work to try and get those details out of him.
And on Friday, July the 7th, were you able to get the most amount of details and kind of the biggest admission of involvement in this case from him?
Yes.
All right, prior to July 7th, he kind of been like, I don't know anything, my people might know something, and then more and more would be added to that involvement, right?
That is correct.
Is it common for suspects to minimize their own involvement in a case?
Yes.
Tell the jury what I mean when I say minimize or what we mean.
So they'll trying to think of the best way to explain it, but basically, like if somebody is in trouble, and they were in the situation, let's say, just use an example of their friend stole gum, and and they get caught, then they'll say, oh well, I wasn't at the cash register with them, I was in the deli department trying to remove themselves from the situation. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but.
And do you believe that that's what Desmond Jones did during the course of all of your interviews with him?
Yes.
And specifically, you interviewed him during the afternoon on July the 3rd of 2017, right?
I did, yes.
Then on July the 6th of 2017, correct?
Yes.
And then there were 2 interviews on July the 7th of 2017.
That's correct.
Tell me why there were 2 almost back to back.
So on July 7th, Special Agent Ryan Randle and I went down to talk to Desmond Jones about the polygraph. And when we departed the interview, I looked down and he and I, Special Agent Ryan Randle and I, noticed that the interview was much longer than what was captured on the recording. And so we knew that we had an issue with our equipment.
So what did you do?
So I believe Special Agent Ryan Randle, I know this from standing next to him, I believe he called the Lancaster Police Department, and they advised that they wanted that statement to be recorded. So we then drove to the FBI Dallas field office and obtained new recording equipment, and then returned back to Lou Sterrett, the county jail, and conducted a follow-up interview with him.
Were you ever able to recover the additional part of what I'm calling the partial recording from July 7th? Like Did somebody who is like a techie, were they able to go in and find the data that happened in the malfunction?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, so did you guys basically just go back in and re-interview?
We did. We tried to cover the same things that we had talked about previously.
And was that successful?
It was, yes.
And in fact, did he give you more details and more involvement at that point?
He did, yes.
So was it almost serendipitous that the recording malfunctioned and you had to go back in that final time on Friday, July the 7th?
In my view, yes.
All right, Your Honor, at this time I would ask permission to publish what we've already introduced and agreed to as State's Exhibit number 56, the partial recording, which is a 16-minute recording from July 7th, 2017.
Yes, you may.
In addition, Your Honor, I do have,
We're going to, if it's a 16-minute
yes,
recording, we're going to have lunch break after that.
that was my thought. So if we can start with that one, we'll do the short one and then take a break for lunch. I do have a printed out transcript.
All right. So look, check this out. Fuck the goal, okay? Fuck the goal. I removed it. If you're not a member, you got until I get in my studio to become a member, because I am moving to members only. Absolutely. We're going to members only. I will drop the membership link real quick. But we are headed to the members only portion of this. It's been 2 hours. I give y'all 2 hours on the house. Give y'all opportunity to show your fucking appreciation. You know? And y'all never seem to amazing, you know? Just I always say fuck the quarters. Yep, that's right. Go ahead. Go ahead on now. I go to membership link. Y'all know, I don't know why I gotta tell y'all this every live. But I don't give a fuck about the numbers. Fuck with me correctly or don't fuck with me at all. It be that simple. Let me end this poll. Close this bitch out. It's all good, man. Believe me, baby. I believe in being fair. So I be trying to give these motherfuckers a fair shot. I hit the like button. Gotta pay to stay. Great content. Become a member. Become a member because all I come with is great content. Why not? Why not support the goddamn channel? I'm one of them ones that actually put in the work to find the facts. You know what I'm talking about? I don't just stream other people's content. I don't just run off of what I heard somewhere else. I actually work this shit like it's a job. So why not become a member and support it? You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. Why not? Why not support a member? Become a member and support it. I try to bring awareness with integrity. You know what I'm talking about? So why not? Why the fuck not? Schedule 1 minute. I do appreciate you though, old boy. Yeah, like no, we're not gonna treat me like I'm K Road. Baby, I'm activist. I'm not green, baby. I'm that purple shit. I don't know if I would love it here or not just yet. I respect it though. Already, well, just go check out my playlist and shit. Check out what's public, you know. Oh boy, I appreciate you hitting the like button. I do try to give a 2 hour live. I hope you enjoyed that 2 hour live. We are on the 1 minute countdown. I don't know if I'ma like you yet or not. I ain't fair about it and I don't like everybody, old boy. I don't be knowing. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of crazy people, but we at 5 seconds, y'all, and we back at it, quarter girls and boys. To the rest of you looking motherfuckers, good night.